Hello, welcome to our classes. I'm Dr. KK Mishra. I welcome you all to my YouTube channel, our classes. This video tutorial is on multiple choice questions on Companies Act 2013 Part 4. This I have compiled with brief explanation. Now come to questions. Question number 1. Which among the following cannot be source for issue of bonus shares? A. Free reserves. B. Securities premium account. C. Capital redemption reserve account. C. Capitalizing reserves created by the revaluation of assets. Correct option is D. Capitalizing reserves created by the revaluation of assets. The company may issue fully paid up bonus shares to its members out of free reserves for securities premium account or the capital redemption reserve account. No issue of bonus shares can be made by capitalizing reserves created by the revaluation of assets. Question number 2. Which out of the following is not a type of meeting as per Companies Act 2013? A. Regulatory meeting. B. Annual general meeting. C. Extraordinary general meeting. D. Class meeting. Correct option is A. Regulatory meeting. There is no such kind of regulatory meeting actually as per this act. Now question number 3. Which of the following is not a type of dividend? A. Interim dividend. B. Final dividend. C. Equity dividend. D. Preference share dividend. Correct option is C. Equity dividend. Interim dividend, final dividend and preference share dividend are types of dividend, but there is no such term equity dividend. Question number 4. The section of Companies Act 2013 related to declaration of dividend is dash A. Section 122, B. Section 123, C. Section 125, D. Section 130. Correct option is B. Section 123. Now come to the next slide. 5. If a company has declared the dividend but has not paid within 30 days from the date of declaration of dividend to shareholders, then it has to be deposited in a special account named dash A. Free reserves, B. Securities premium account, C. Unpaid dividend account, D. Capital redemption reserve account. Correct option is C. Unpaid dividend account. Where a dividend has been declared by a company but has not been paid or claimed within 30 days from the date of declaration to any shareholder entitled to the payment of dividend, the company shall, within 7 days from the date of expiry of this set period of 30 days, transfer the total amount of dividend which remains unpaid or unclaimed to a special account to be opened by the company in that behalf in any scheduled bank to be called the unpaid dividend account. Now question number 6. Name the section of Companies Act 2013 related to establishment of investor education and protection fund. A. Section 122, B. Section 123, C. Section 125, D. Section 130. Here correct option is C. Section 125. Now question number 7. The amount in the unpaid dividend account of companies can be transferred to the fund investor education and protection fund if it remains unpaid or unclaimed for a period of dash years. A4, B5, C6, D7. Correct option is D7. Here actually any money transferred to the unpaid dividend account of a company in pursuance of this section which remains unpaid or unclaimed for a period of 7 years from the date of such transfer shall be transferred by the company along with the interest accrued to the investor education and protection fund. Now come to the slide, that is question number 8. Which section of Companies Act 2013 deals with the appointment of auditors? Actually, here options are A. Section 139, B. Section 140, C. Section 141, D. Section 142. Correct option is A. Section 139. Section 139 of Companies Act 2013 actually deals with the appointment of auditors by a company. 9. According to provisions of Companies Act 2013, an individual auditor cannot be appointed for more than dash consecutive years. A4, B5, C6, D7. Correct option is B5. An individual as an auditor for more than one term of 5 consecutive years cannot be appointed. 10. According to provisions of Companies Act 2013, an audit firm cannot be appointed for more than dash terms of 5 consecutive years. A2, B3, C4, D5. Correct option is A2. Now, question number 11. What is the minimum number of directors that a public company should have as per provisions of Companies Act 2013? A3, B2, C1, D15. Correct option is A3. Now, come to the next slide. Question number 12. What is the minimum number of directors that a private company should have as per provisions of Companies Act 2013? A3, B2, C1, D15. Correct option is B2. Now, question number 13. What is the minimum number of directors that one person company should have as per provisions of Companies Act 2013? So, A3, B2, C1, D15. Correct option is C1. The law requires that every company must have at least 3 directors in case of public limited companies, minimum 2 in case of private limited companies, and minimum 1 director in case of one person company. Now, question number 14. What is the maximum number of directors that a company can have as per provisions of Companies Act 2013? A3, B2, C1, D15. Correct option is D15. A company can have maximum 15 directors unless a special resolution is not passed. Now, question number 15. Every listed company, public company shall have at least dash of the total number of directors as independent directors. A, 1/5, B, 1/3, C, half, D, 1/10. Correct option is B, 1/3. Every listed company shall have at least 1/3 of the total number of directors as independent directors, and the central government may prescribe the minimum number of independent directors in case of any class or classes of public companies. Now, question number 16. An independent director cannot hold office for more than dash consecutive terms. A4, B3, C2, D1. Correct option is C2. No independent director shall hold office for more than 2 consecutive terms, but such independent directors shall be eligible for appointment after the expiration of 3 years of ceasing to become an independent director. Question number 17. Every public company has to appoint at least one woman director if it has paid up share capital greater than dash or turnover more than dash. A, 100 crore, 300 crore. B, 200 crore, 400 crore. C, 250 crore, 500 crore. D, 300 crore, 1000 crore. Correct option is A, 100 crore and 300 crores. Actually, the following class of companies are required to appoint at least one woman director. A, 1, every listed company. 2, every other public company having a paid up share capital of 100 crores of rupees or more. B, turnover of 300 crores of rupees or more. Now, question number 18. What is the maximum number of directorship that a person can hold? A, 10, B, 15, C, 18, D, 20. Correct option is D, 20. Maximum number of directorships, including any alternate directorship a person can hold, actually is 20. Now, next slide. Question number 19. What is the maximum number of public companies in which a person can be appointed as a director? A. 10, B. 15, C. 18, D. 20. Correct option is A. 10. The maximum number of public companies in which a person can be appointed as a director shall not exceed in any case 10. 20. Every company should have at least one director who has stayed in India for a total period of not less than dash days in the previous calendar year. A. 180, B. 181, C. 182, D. 183. Correct option is C. 182. Every company shall have at least one director who has stayed in India for a total period of not less than 182 days in the previous calendar year. So this was all about this video tutorial. I hope that you have liked it. If you have liked it, please do not forget to subscribe my YouTube channel or classes and press the bell button and pass it on to others, those who are needy now and in the future. Thank you. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you very much. Have a nice time. Best of luck.